Hello, we are back after the girls hijacked our Let's Play session. I don't know, 10 days ago. We are back with one of them. And with Pratt, of course.
Of course, I'm always here.
And yeah, a special guest today is Unsha.
Hi.
And she has some knowledge about this game, but it's kind of in her past, so I don't know if she remembers everything. We will try to help her.
Yeah, she'll get back into it very fast, I think.
I hope so.
We are kind of thrown into this scene out of nowhere with a week or more of delay in between. So we're kind of lost too, I think.
So this is after the stage incident?
No.
Okay.
I think that was in episode 4.
Okay, so I guess I drank my memory away.
Yeah.
Again.
You drank too much moonshine. No, this is after we found the clicker. We met with Cynthia Weaver in the well-lit room. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember that vault thing.
We found the clicker and the message from Thomas Zane, or maybe from ourselves. Probably from ourselves.
Okay, but what was the message?
It said something like, with the clicker in his hands, Alan Wake stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay.
And jumped into it or something. Yeah, so we are on our way to Cauldron Lake to end all this nightmare.
So this is the last part of the game?
The last part of the normal game, yeah. There are the two add-ons. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. I'm playing this, like I told in the previous videos, probably 1,000 times, without any weapons except for the utility weapons.
Oh.
So I had to get the cans with my buddy.
Yeah, with your crotch.
With my crotch weapon.
Your lance of destruction.
Dirty laugh from Unsha, first thing we heard from her.
Yeah. Well, normally it's just us guys, right? And now we have a female here, so we have to
one of the female species.
Yeah. Yeah, which actually
I'm pretty shy still.
Yeah.
I have to get into the game first, I guess.
And you have to get used to the recording situation, probably.
And to you guys.
Yeah. I think you know us well enough, but not speaking English, for starters.
That's true.
But yeah, your English is pretty good, I know that.
Well,
so you shouldn't have a problem.
My vocabulary sucks.
Your vocabulary isn't that big?
No, it's not, and yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, finishing sentences is hard.
Yeah, well, the gaming vocabulary is only about
my gaming vocabulary is pretty small, I guess.
Yeah, but it's easy to learn. It's only like 150 words, I guess.
Yeah.
So you have to teach me.
Yeah, to communicate with gamers.
What's the most important word from the gamer lingo?
LOL?
I know that one.
I don't know.
But that is more like internet.
Yeah, it's internet. Awesome.
Zane cut its heart out.
Awesome, yeah. That's our favorite word.
The thing that wore Barbara's face kept crooning sweet nothings sugar-laced with poison. He put on the suit, untied the monster from the chair. The thing in his arms thrashed weakly, but he held fast. He stepped outside, off the pier, and into the dark water. A sinking pinprick of light descending toward a bottom that never came.
So now, we were talking about the perspective change of the manuscripts earlier.
Yeah, maybe we should inform Unsha about this.
Well, most of the manuscripts have a change of point of view or perspective. So sometimes it's like the first person view, and sometimes it's third person or omnipresent view. And
does it make a difference in what the manuscripts say, like the content or content?
Well, the content is mostly the same, I guess. It tells the story of what you're playing.
Yeah.
But there must be some purpose behind it, or otherwise it wouldn't make any sense.
Mostly. Also, the game sounds are pretty loud, right? For you guys too. So I maybe put it down a little to understand you better. Okay. Contents are mostly plot hints.
Yeah. So if Thomas Zane, maybe we're like a part of Thomas Zane's book. Because
one he wrote already, or one he is writing, or...
Well, you know, we had the theory of how writers are starting a story, they create characters which come to life, but if you don't finish the story, or if you don't put these characters into place, they kind of have nothing to do, or they don't serve any purpose. Remember? We were talking about this last time?
Last time, and also in the very beginning, I think.
In the very beginning, yeah. So maybe... we are one of these characters. We are like the main characters in an unfinished book from Thomas Zane.
You mean we or Ellen?
Yeah, Ellen, not us. Maybe us too. But
yeah.
I was wondering. I mean,
brings us back to existentialism and penis enlargement. No, I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's not a problem. It's because you haven't seen our LP.
No, I'm sorry. I should have.
Yeah, which is kind of sad.
No, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
I will.
Probably only the part you are not sponsoring, but featuring.
When I told Barry my plan back in the well-lit room, I'd acted as if I knew what I was doing.
I was interrupting you.
I didn't. I was operating on the shifting logic of a dream. I had to fight my way to the lake through the horrors.
But I mean, like, the perspective from the writer, if when it's the first person, is it more like more personal maybe, or and the other, if it's third person, more storytelling, or?
Yeah, but I mean, the first person perspective is from Alan Wake's perspective, and well, it's like first person, you know. He doesn't really know what's going on around him. He's just telling about what he sees and what's happening out of his perspective. But I don't know. I can't answer your question because I didn't really pay attention to the differences.
Okay. So we should play it again.
Yeah, let's start over.
Yeah, it's a shame I didn't record the whole nightmare run, so we can,
Yeah, we could talk about it again and
get on the meta level.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna watch it again, our Let's Play, but I'm studying for exams at the moment, so I don't really have 10 hours time to.
I think it's only 7 hours.
Okay, 7 hours.
No, but of course you don't have time to do this at the moment.
Maybe I'll get my girlfriend to watch it with me.
Oh, we can all watch together.
Yeah.
It's a little strange to watch your own LP, I think, to be honest.
I mean, we could watch only what you're playing and not our own talking.
That's better. Because you have to watch it while editing.
I will never give her to
and it's
you.
kind of... It's kind of embarrassing. You're embarrassed for yourself.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
So there's some darkness coming?
Yeah, the tornado is like the image the darkness chooses, or one of the images it chooses to represent itself, or it is represented by the tornado in most cases. Sometimes by Barbara Jagger, the old woman, or I don't know if she's that old, in the funeral dress.
Okay.
The one who was with Thomas Zane.
Okay.
And the Taken, of course.
And shadows, like the darkness by itself, I guess?
Yeah, you could say that.
So you're still not shooting, right? You're still using the utility weapons?
Yeah, I'm not shooting up until the final boss of the game.
Oh.
Because that is the achievement. Yeah, you're not allowed to use any weapons except for the flares and the flashbangs.
Sorry.
What are you doing there?
Oh, you have to make your way through the, I don't know, mining town, I think it is. And in order to do that, you have to push some of the mine carts out of the way.
Okay.
And you have to have kind of good timing to do that, because you're not allowed to, or I am playing without the guns, so all the enemies are behind you.
Yeah.
It wasn't solid. It flowed. It was conceptual and subjective. For someone else, an artist in another field, it would have been very different. I could sense the story of the manuscript all around me, the words and ideas floating in the air, poised to become real.
Yeah, so the last manuscript page was something which would support my theory again. That the darkness is just creativity, more or less. It's like the free will of an artist.
But why would that be dark?
Well, you didn't see the last parts. There was this TV episode where somebody was unemployed and he took a job in the service, like a low qualified job in the service industry, and the next scene is he finds himself like on some kind of meadow or something, and he's attacked by two guys who beat him up, and they're like, okay, before you start your job,
that's where
we have to get something out of you. And they beat him, and then they get this dark presence out of him, and then they say, well, this free will won't do you any good.
Okay.
For what you're up to.
That's pretty harsh. I mean,
yeah, it is
that
harsh.
game is like, if you have free will, then you will die.
Yeah, it's like a social criticism, right? I mean, when you start a job, like a low-paid job in the service industry.
The brightness is like the society that.
The brightness is because, I mean, if you look at the lamp.
Your ants and you.
Yeah, if you look at the lamp lady, I mean, she's surrounded by light, and she's like a really scared person. So, in my opinion, like the light is a symbol for the security of society, which people can wrap themselves around with, to not really have a free will, to not think for themselves. And having a free will and having free thoughts is always kind of scary, because it's kind of unstable, more or less.
Okay, but it's not evil.
What did you say? It's not evil?
Yeah.
No. It definitely isn't, but I don't think the television, the Night Springs episode we were just talking about, said that it's evil. It said it doesn't do you any good.
In society, yeah. Well, but I mean, like in this game, like with fighting it.
Well, I mean, there's.
Oh yeah, you're right. If you take the symbolism.
Yeah, if you think about like an analogy of having a nightmare. Like, for example, running away from something which is trying to get you and you can't really, get off the spot. And in the nightmare, I mean, the people following you is like, they're evil because they're trying to get you and trying to hurt you. But why you're having this nightmare could, for example, be you have to make an important decision in your life.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary.
But that's not free will. Not really the same.
No, not free will, but the
if you know what you want to do, then that's free will too, and then it's not scary.
But I just mean that leaving the path that society has for you
gives security.
Gives security, and your free will, for example, would be not taking on the will of the society, but taking your own will.
I think what he means is that you're not making a decision to, for example, take a nice secure job or something which is secure overall, but do something entirely else.
Okay.
Decisions like these.
Yeah, we had the example of the writer who.
But I mean, why are we fighting it? Like, shouldn't we accept it and be strong with it and not like...
Yeah, but we're not always so self-conscious that we actually know what is good for us. You know what I mean? So
okay,
we might fight stuff that could be good for us.
So you think in the end Alan should be letting himself be taken from the darkness and wrap himself inside it?
I mean, I have to agree with you. If you take this analogy and put it onto the game and see the game with this symbolism, it doesn't make really sense, because you're like fighting your own freedom, you know, which is displayed so dark and negative.
Yeah, but we talked about this last episode, where we had some flashbacks of Alan in the TV show and how he's always on tour and he's always forced by everyone to write the next book.
Yeah,
and that's light? Like, is it symbolized with light or with darkness?
Oh, no, that is the light, because
he's in a brightly lit TV studio. Everything's good except for his, party excesses.
They're dark.
No, but you don't see them, so I don't know how they'd be displayed. But,
but a TV show in the darkness would be funny anyway.
Doing this with 3 people is something else than the usual, but I think it's nice.
Yeah, of course it's nice. Yeah.
Are we talking too much?
No.
This episode is kind of action-based. Not that many story elements. Not that much talking. So we can talk however much we want. Oh, I like the upcoming thing. But now I probably spoiled it because you know that something's
We're not
coming.
surprised anymore.
Yeah.
Whoa. What was that?
A big truck. I saw a DS game which is called Big Mother Truckers.
Sounds like hillbilly porn. So what do you do in that game?
I don't know, I just saw the title. Thought it was funny. I really come to like my DS more than before. But it's kind of a story for another time, probably.
I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you said this editor wants to turn the story into a horror story?
Ellen said that, yeah.
And she's like mainstream orientated, I guess? Is it like for success and everything?
No, she's not a real editor. She's
crazy.
Keeping him. She's the embodiment of the darkness. The darkness wears her face, to say it in the game's words, and she's keeping him inside the cabin for the week he thought he had lost, you know?
What did he say about the darkness?
The editor's the person who represents the darkness, or the person
that's what I think
instrumentalized by the darkness.
That's what I thought, because usually the editor is like destroying your ideas. As a writer, I guess sometimes they say you have to edit this and that, and you're not content with it, and you think it's destroying your creativity. And when she's dark, then maybe the interpretation can be good. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of, it fits the theory, and I thought that maybe she's the wife of Thomas Zane, right?
I don't know if they were married, but I think so. I kind of forgot.
Because my idea would be, because
they were a couple anyway.
That other TV show episode we saw where you have this writer in the basement and you have these two women, who just kind of more or less appear, and they're just like ideas from the writer in the basement, and he talks to the two women, and he's like, well, okay, I just created you more or less, but I don't really know what to do with you. Yeah. So, like, go upstairs and drink coffee. So, if you write a book about a writer who's like in a horror story, and his wife is like one of the main protagonists of the story, and the story ends with the writer dying, you kind of leave the character of the wife just to be. I mean, she has no future at all because the story just ended. So maybe she is like the main protagonist of the story, which ended with Thomas Zane dying. And she's still alive, even though the story ended. That's probably because she's like in a funeral gown.
Oh.
So you know what I mean. You know, authors create characters, and some characters are more important, and some are less important. And
she's evil now.
She's evil because she's left alone in the story. You know what I mean?
You mean like she's
now?
evil
I mean now with Ellen.
No, she's evil. You know, everything about her is kind of evil, and she's using Ellen to put out her evil output.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine you have
because
like
he's a creator, and he's creative, and he has some output she can use, so he's like an instrument to her.
Okay, so she's not like evil, but
yes, I don't know if she's evil.
A businesswoman.
I don't think she was evil as a person, but since the darkness took her, she's evil. And you're saying like the darkness took her because she's still some relic of the story, and she can't find her peace because she's kind of stuck in this.
Like what do you say? What is the word in English for jenseits? It's like a place where before you go to heaven or hell, right?
I don't know, but I'd say maybe limbo is a good word for it.
Yeah. She's like.
But that's not jenseits.
She's like stuck in the limbo of. Imagine there would be a limbo for characters who have been created.
Oh, look at that! The last chest.
Oh,
nice.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, it's no problem. Well, imagine you would have like a limbo for characters who were created, which were never really finished because they were not the main protagonists of a story.
Yeah, maybe she's just angry.
She's angry because she was left by the writer who created
what
her.
Now?
Yeah.
Maybe she wants to write the story on.
Yeah, that's what she forces Alan to do. She wants him to force.
And she wants to
maybe
have her own ending, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
What I wanted to say about your Thomas Zane book theories. The majority of the Bright Falls community doesn't believe he ever existed.
Okay.
And there's no real documents that he ever wrote something. We saw like a shoebox of books of him in the early game.
Running.
But they were never published. At least that's what Barry said in the game, you know.
Okay.
But Cynthia Weaver says, obviously, that he was there. She was in love with him, and I mean, you know, the town is kind of seeing him as a legend.
Thomas Zane. Yeah. Because he lived there, right, at the Cauldron Lake.
Yeah, I mean, like a legend or myth.
Like a myth. Okay, yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's just another symbol for, in the end, Alan's personal state.
Hmm.